the extreme measures that Palm Colored will go in order to make sure that their population stays around has gone to major extremities. And I do mean major extreme levels. I was listening to a video that Seiji Hito, and shout out to him by the way, did yesterday when they were talking about what happened in Alabama, the state of Alabama, when they were talking about the abortion heartbeat bill. I'm not exactly what theirs is exactly called because they keep honing in on Georgia, where they pretty much passed a motion stating that if a woman is raped or has a child that was I guess you can say put into her through incest, that she will face criminal penalties if she gets an abortion. Now this is a woman that was forced into sex, or someone forced themselves onto her and then she ended up getting pregnant. And they said that if she decides to want to give up to terminate this child that's growing inside of her, because I don't think many women would want to carry a child that was produced through rape. I don't know many women that would want to do that, or through with the incest, that's popular against who. So that one, it depends on who it is. They said they could face up to 99 years in prison, and most likely the person or the doctor who performed it will most likely face some penalties as well. But then they said that the person who raped the individual will get up to 10 years in jail. So just see how backwards that is. But that doesn't surprise me with the rape part, because look at when it comes to raping the palm colored, who when they rape somebody, and the amount of years that they don't get, or the amount of years of probation that they do get. Now, I talked about that because I wanted to soften the blow for what I'm about to talk about as it pertains to Georgia, because Georgia is like that I guess you can say that breeding ground, quote unquote, no pun intended, of this abortion bill called the HB 481 bill. And it has everyone in an uproar, even all the way to Hollyweird, because it came out that many studios, or a few studios who shoot films in Atlanta, well, in Georgia, mostly in the Atlanta area, are pulling out because of this bill. And when these studios pull out like that, it hurts Georgia's economy. Now, last I heard, I think they say they're waiting to see what Marvel or Pinewood Studios is going to do. That's where Marvel films are filmed at, and another studio. Marvel Pinewood Studios has raked in billions of dollars at the box office for their films, which actually is very good for Georgia's economy, mainly because it costs a lot to shoot or film things in California because of the taxes. So they got a nice tax break being in Georgia. They would not want to lose that, because it will definitely hurt Georgia's economy in a major way. So it's like they're kind of giving them an ultimatum to either drop this entire bill altogether, make some tweaks to it, or they said that they're going to stop filming there, film elsewhere, until basically boycott those that state. But the people who are in charge of this bill are not budging. They are standing firm on this square. And I was looking on social media yesterday, and I was seeing so many people leave comments under that particular post about the studio, saying they were going to leave, if they didn't fix anything. And I seen a lot of people, and it was a lot of women leaving comments saying, these old white men cannot tell us women what to do with our bodies. I saw that comment over and over and over again. If I knew my comment would be seen, I would leave this. I would say, yes, they don't have a right to tell you what to do with your body. However, when a certain demographic or a certain I guess you say ethnicity is going through a tremendous decline and they need their numbers up, they will do what they must in order to keep those numbers up. To the black women out there, just know that this bill is not so much directed toward you. However, you and every other group of women who are not white are shoehorned into this because their population is declining. You know that term misery loves company? You are the company, they are the misery. They need their numbers up. They know that they are in a decline. Unfortunately, many others don't know that they're in a decline, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. They're not going to come out right and tell you that's what it is, but that's what it is. Now, I was reading some of this other article right here, and it gets worse. Like I'm telling you, it goes from bad to worse with this thing. It says, by the way, this was a bill that was signed by Brian Kemp, you know, the person who just won being governor from Stacey Abrams. He said, in addition to criminalizing abortion after about 6 weeks, which is around the time most women find out they're pregnant, the law threatens to imprison any woman who terminates their pregnancies. It also grants full legal personhood to fetuses, ensuring anyone who terminates a pregnancy after 6 weeks, including a pregnant woman herself, may be liable for murder. This is just for the fetus. At first, it was just the heartbeat. They basically are going real early for this. They said she could be liable for murder. Also, hear this. Now, this part right here is going to probably piss off a lot of women. Women who miscarry may be investigated and charged if prosecutors believe they are responsible for the death of an unborn child. Now, a miscarriage is something that most women cannot, well, pretty much I don't think any woman can control if that happens, unless you do something that you know you're not supposed to do during your pregnancy to cause that miscarriage, such as maybe smoking or drinking alcohol consumptions, or, you know, basically doing stuff that the doctor tells you not to do. But if you miscarry and it just happens, they are saying that they would find you liable for murder because you could not go full term and could not give birth to a child. I'm reading this. Like, this is what it says. This is what they are putting. That's what they're implementing in place. And that's just in Georgia. Imagine what will happen, because it's probably going to happen, when this gets implemented across the board. That means that women who were raped got to have the child or they're going to jail. If they miscarry, they can find them liable for murder and they'll probably face jail time. All because a certain demographic is in a population decline. Now, I just told y'all in another video how it was a bunch of naked white women walking around the streets of Europe over there, basically protesting because no man over there, well, no white man is sleeping with them. They are not getting pregnant over there. They are not producing. I think out of all the places in the world that has a white population that's going through the decline the fastest, it would definitely be over in Europe, probably London. I'm not exactly sure what country it was over there, but they're definitely, I think, going through the decline the fastest out of the entire white population on a global scale. So this is why they're putting this in place, because they need the numbers in order to survive, and they're dying out right now. Between the low birth rates, these mass shootings, and of course that opioid plague, that's the trinity right there. It might be another one, but those three right there is going to be the major demise of the palm-colored population. 2 of those are heavily affected here, which are the mass shootings and that opioid plague. Well, I take that back. I guess you can throw the low birth rates here. I'm not sure what the low birth rate stats are for America or the U.S. Or you can say America, because I guess you can throw Canada in there as well. But that opioid plague and that and those mass shootings definitely are prevalent here. On a global scale, as we can see, that low birth rates is definitely something that's going on. So to the people out there that are trying to figure out why they're doing this is why. They're not going, like I said, they're not going to come right out and tell you on TV or on the radio, oh, our birth rates are so low and that's why we're doing what we're doing. They're not going to do that. They would be criminalizing themselves by doing that, because then that will look like a self-serving agenda. But if you read, you go online and you look up these articles like I and Lisa Cabrera, or better yet, if you just watch our channels, you will know that why they are doing what they are doing. You know, when it's always an agenda with them, and usually it's always a self-serving one, and it trickles on down to the rest of us. But this is the position that they have put themselves in, and now it's going to pretty much start affecting the rest of us. Well, in this case, the women in particular, since this is, you know, you would have to be able to be the bearer of life in order to be truly affected by this. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one.